Imagine, a podcast series by Imagine Theatre.
Hello again, I'm Martin Ballard, welcoming you to a rather exciting episode 33 of this podcast series from one of the UK's biggest producers of pantomime and children's theatre.
For more information, go to their website at www.imaginetheatre.co.uk.
So here we are on a sunny Sunday morning at the De Montfort Hall in Leicester. Now before we start, I hope you've been listening to all of our previous episodes, but a quick reminder that if you have missed any of my previous conversations with creatives, actors or behind the scenes tours of Imagine Theatre, you can catch up with them at any time. They are all still available. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to the series so that you don't miss out in the future. Now, in episode 32, I spoke to one of the UK's leading experts on British pantomime, the Senior Curator of Modern and Contemporary Theatre and Performance at the Victoria and Albert Museum, Simon Sladen. This time, I'm here at the De Montfort Hall, backstage, because we're celebrating the return of children on stage to pantomimes this Christmas. I'm going to be going behind the scenes today to find out what happens at Imagine's Junior Ensemble auditions. Now, we are here backstage. All of the auditionees and their families are in the auditorium and they're just being told what will happen today. So let's go and meet some of them. But before we do that, I just want to catch up with Louise Redmond, who is here running the auditions here for Imagine Theatre and casting this year's pantomime season Junior Ensemble. First of all, Louise, it's just fantastic to be back, isn't it?
Oh gosh, I can't even put into words how amazing it is to be back auditioning Junior Ensemble members to join the Pantos this year. It's just out of this world. It's been a long time coming and really makes me so excited to see such talent walking through those doors. Everything has been building up to getting back into these auditions now.
And we've done Pantos without children for the last Pantos season, and they worked, but they're not quite the same, are they?
Absolutely. You know, we had to put our performances on without our junior ensemble. But for me and for everybody watching, the junior ensemble, they complete the cast that is on stage, and it has not been the same without them.
Today, for instance, how does it pan out? What's the process?
Okay, so it's a really nice, relaxed day. We start and we register everybody and introduce them to the team that are here from Imagine and just talk everybody through how the day is going to run. And then we get into the auditions. Normally break the children down into two lots. We do it by age to start with, and we bring them in and we start to teach them a routine, put them through their paces for about an hour, and then it's the really tough bit where we have to choose who's going to go through to the recalls. Then we work the same with the next group, and then by the time we break for lunch, we have chosen our children that will be through to the recalls afterwards.
And then by the end of the day, you'll have a final number.
So 2 groups of 8 and a whole group of reserves.
And the main thing about the day is that the kids have fun, really, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. That's what we're here for. Panto is such a fun thing to be part of, and what we really want to do is give the children that come and audition a really good experience, and to walk away and say, do you know what, I had a great day, and whichever the outcome may be, whether they get into the panto or they don't this year, as long as they're walking away and they said, do you know what, I tried my best today, I enjoyed it, and I've probably made some new friends along the way.
Yeah, absolutely. The other thing is, it's worth pointing out for those who haven't actually come along this year but might be thinking about it next year, it doesn't really matter whether you've had any experience or not, or whether you've ever had any dance lessons or anything at all. Just come along and give it a go.
Yes, come along, give it a go. There's always, a bit of hidden talent in there. We all danced around, and for lockdown, a lot of us spent a lot of time at home learning off YouTube, Zoom. We had lots of classes ourselves. So if you have never done a dance class before, please come, because we will teach you and we will not get into all the really strange dancing jargon that there is out there.
Now, the interesting thing is, for anybody who's listening to this who isn't from this particular area, I think this is maybe the second or third set of junior ensemble auditions that you've done for various shows, but there are other Imagine shows that will be doing auditions for junior ensemble in the coming days and weeks, so check out the website. It may be that you can go along to one of those.
Absolutely, yes. Check out imaginetheatre.co.uk. We've got lots of pantos all around England, Scotland and Wales, and we'll be auditioning for those right up until the middle of September.
We'll hear more from Louise a little bit later on. We'll also take a look inside the audition room to see how everybody's getting on. But first, let's meet some of the families who are waiting to go in, both in the auditorium and, first of all, out here in the glorious sunshine. I tell you what, I can see why you've decided to sit outside rather than inside in the auditorium. It's beautiful, isn't it?
It's absolutely beautiful. I think I'd rather be at home in the sunshine, in the garden.
Now, is this experience something you've been through before?
We've been here once before, pre-COVID. Unfortunately, it didn't get through, but we came for the first audition. But we've not been to any others, I don't think.
So you know what to expect, though?
Yeah, sort of, yeah.
Okay. So how did it go last time?
It was a good experience to see lots of other girls and boys that are really good as well.
It's good fun as much as anything, isn't it? And every time you come and do something like this, you learn so much, don't you?
Yeah, you really do. When we were here last time, we learnt a dance and we all had to show them, the people in there, the dance that we learnt, and there was lots of other people in there as well.
Have you done other shows apart from things like this? Do you go to dance lessons and so on?
Yeah, I go to a dance school in Market Harborough and we've done dance shows every year. They try and do one. Yeah, it's really good fun because we all are with our friends and we all have a really good time.
And if you do get in, one of the great things about doing a panto is that you meet new people and make new friends, which is good as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really good. We can make lots of good new friends and hopefully stay good friends with them.
How much do you know about pantomime?
Quite a lot. I wouldn't say like all of it.
Have you ever done panto before?
No, not yet.
I mean, you must have seen panto.
We normally come every year, either to this one or any of the local ones. So we do like the theatre shows, don't we?
It's great fun. It's part of Christmas for so many people as well. Are you nervous? Are you confident? How do you feel?
I'm not really that nervous because I know what to expect.
The most important thing is not to be nervous, just to go in and have fun, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. Even if you don't get through, you just have to try your best.
Fingers crossed for you. Thank you for talking to us.
Thank you.
So what we're here to do today is we're going to do a little bit of a dance. Now, the most important thing of the day is that you enjoy yourselves.
While the auditions continue, I must say a big thank you to all of the staff here at the De Montfort Hall, all of the stewards who have come in today on a beautiful Sunday to make sure that everything runs smoothly. Now, the other thing to consider is that you may think once a child has successfully auditioned for a show, it's plain sailing and straight into rehearsals and performances. What you may not know is that any young person under school leaving age and taking part in any public performances that the audience pays to see, or that perhaps take place on licensed premises, every one of those young people has to be licensed. Now, the company or person in charge of running the event must then apply to the child's local council for a child performance licence. So with 3 groups of 8 children here in the Leicester venue alone, think about how many licences Imagine Theatre has to apply for in all of their venues across the UK. Well, to explain that process, earlier I caught up with Imagine's Operations and Production Administrator, Amy Storer, who began by talking about the auditions and the registration process.
Because we have so many kids, we can have up to 200 in some big venues. We actually give them a number, so to us they are a number. So when we're auditioning them, it's easier than learning 200 kids' names because that's near on impossible if we've got a few auditions over a certain weekend. So yes, we have all their information, and on that form it also confirms that they can have their photos taken. That's the main form that we will then use should they get in a main team that we collate all of their information from for the licenses. As soon as they get in and they are placed in either a main team or a reserve team, those pieces of paper become very, very important, and they are almost like the holy grail of everything that we do, because that's the very, very start. So we will take those back, and the team will then input all of that information into a very large spreadsheet, and all of that information is then collated in order to get the license. Prior to the auditions, a lot of work is done before in creating the license. So as soon as we have the children in place, we can input all that information, pull it all through, and then send an email out to the parent with all the license documentation that we will need in order to get a license. And it's quite a bit of information.
I'm sure it is, and I mean, if you're not involved in the industry, you may think there'll be one central body to apply for a license maybe the government, for whatever reason, it's not. It's all done by each local council, which makes it even more complicated, I guess.
It does, because we can have, say we've got 2 teams of 8 kids, that's 16 children, and in that they could be upwards of 8 councils. So it's not just a case of sending it to one central place. We have to figure out exactly where each child lives and which council they sit under in order to send the licences off. England, Scotland and Wales all have completely separate ones as well, separate processes. So the process in Scotland is completely different. They have their own forms, so it's a lot different even just between sort of the 3, England, Scotland and Wales.
Again, so, for those people who don't know and didn't understand, it's not even just the council where the venue is situated. So in Leicester, for instance, there will be young people who auditioned, from outside the city and the county, from other counties, and every licence will have to go to their own individual council.
Yes, and it's also their home council as well. A lot of people sometimes get confused because if a child crosses a border and goes to school, say, in Nuneaton, Bedworth, but they live in Coventry, we will actually have to licence them in Coventry, and it's not where their school is, so sometimes that can cause confusion as well.
And just to make it even more complicated for you guys, there are 3 groups in Leicester. One of those will be a reserve group. Now, for the kids in the reserve group, those 8 children, they'll need more than one licence, won't they?
Yes, they need 3 each. 2 each, because there's 2 teams there. So what we do with reserves is they are extremely important, and they can be pulled in right up until the first technical rehearsal, should a child become unwell or unable to get a licence from their council. So what we do is we try to cover all eventualities, so we licence them for both teams. Should anything happen, we can, at the drop of a hat, even on the day, say, can you be pulled into this team? We have your licence, it's all ready, and then they can be there within an hour and a half.
Do you have any idea this year how many licenses you'll have to apply for?
I think roughly, off the top of my head, it will be around 700 with the amount of venues we've got this year, and basing that on sort of 3 teams, so it might be slightly less, but it's a mammoth task.
It absolutely is, and obviously the clock is ticking from, because some of the venues won't have actually auditioned their junior ensemble yet, but the later you leave it, the more difficult it is to get all of that resolved before rehearsals start.
Yes, the auditions that we're having at the moment, they're a bit easier because we do have a bit of time. But as soon as we get into auditions sort of September, some mid-September, we normally only have about 6 weeks to get everything turned around, which is quite a short space of time to do it in. But yes, the team are amazing, and they get them out.
Yeah, and it works like a machine. Although, having said that, it's been a couple of years since you've had to go through this process. It is great to be back, though, doing it, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Just to see the kids back in the audition room was amazing. So as much as it is a hard job and it is a lot of work, it's so rewarding, and especially when you go and watch the shows and you see them and you know that you have helped put them there. I feel like there'll be a lot of tears actually this year.
Now, the other thing is, a lot of people might be thinking, why do children need to be licensed in the first place? I mean, it's all part of, again, child safety, child protection, and that goes all the way through to performances as well, where chaperones will look after them when they're not on stage, and chaperones themselves have to have a license, don't they?
They do, yes. So each chaperone has to go again to their own council, so they kind of run alongside each other. They have to go through extensive training just in order to get a chaperone licence, because essentially once they are in the rehearsal room, they are in care of those chaperones. And obviously, as a parent myself, when you're handing your child over, you want to ensure that the person looking after your child is completely safe to have them. We make sure that we interview all chaperones, and we know exactly who are looking after the children, because safeguarding is our number one priority with these children.
So as you can see, that's quite an operation, isn't it? Well, here, back at the De Montfort Hall, families are spread outside on the lawns in the sunshine in the auditorium, and here, front of house in the cafe, is a family waiting. I think it's your daughter, isn't it, that's in there?
So Kira's in there. This is one of her first auditions because of COVID, so just gaining the experience. She's really excited and loves Cinderella, so she's got everything crossed.
How old is she?
She's 10.
And has she done shows before? Does she go to dance lessons and so on?
Yeah, she's mum's the principal of the dance school, so she's done it forever. But since COVID, she was just at that point where she was able to audition, but because of COVID, she's missed 2 years of it, so she's only just starting to do it now. So we are trying to get her to go to these and gain experience in doing auditions. So here we are.
So you're passing on the tradition to your daughter then?
Yeah, she loves it. I mean, I've got my school, but she's been with me since she was 3. She does everything, singing, acting, and the dance inside, and she absolutely loves it. So it looks that way that she's following in my footsteps.
So does this bring back memories for you when you auditioned as a kid earlier on?
Yeah. Here at De Mont, we've been in shows here before. It was pantomimes years ago. I think it was at Aladdin we've done here. We've had people in Joseph here as well. Right. Been part of the opera as well here. Aida, I think it was. Quite a few. So it's nice to be back.
Do you remember that Aladdin? Which one it might have been? The only reason I ask is because I've been in 11 pantos here, and I was probably in that one with Sean Maguire. This is going back. This is Sean Maguire, Alfred Marks. Going back a long time, it's about 93.
It was around that time. So it's lovely, and the De Mont itself, it's really nice, isn't it? A lovely venue to be here.
So what's it feel like? You know, she's in there doing her best, and you're having to sit outside here and wait. Nervous, are you?
Sweaty palms. Yeah, really nervous. Yeah, it is, isn't it? But you just, as long as she gives it her all, that's all. But it is nerve-wracking. Isn't it?
And any of your other students here as well?
Yeah, I've got a few here that I think they'll be in this afternoon's group, so yeah, all good.
Well, fingers
good
crossed, and that's going to be a busy Christmas if she gets in, isn't it?
Absolutely, but we're up for it. It's part of Christmas.
Here in the auditorium, people who aren't sunbathing outside are just either waiting for their kids who are auditioning or waiting to go in. So first of all, whereabouts are you from?
Hinckley.
Okay, and this is your daughter?
Yes, that's my daughter Emily.
And have you been through this process before? Has she auditioned for any other shows?
Well, she auditioned in the past for various shows and pantomimes, yeah. And she, our local town, Hinckley, she's been in panto twice there, so...
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is at the Concordia, is it?
Yeah.
Do you go to a dance school?
Yeah, I go to Shelby, yeah.
And what do you enjoy about doing it?
I just enjoy everything.
Yeah. And you made new friends?
Yeah.
So what's going to happen today? Do you know the process? Because you're obviously waiting to go in.
Kind of. I kind of remember everything. That's well, like when I was here last time. But
so are you nervous or are you happy just to go in and have fun?
I'm all right. I think, yeah, I'm happy to go in. Just dance.
Just to enjoy yourself. That's the key thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
And is Mum nervous, do you reckon?
No.
It must be quite nerve-wracking though, just waiting outside when she's gone in.
I think Emily is quite a busy girl with different things like different dancing and ballet schools, and so I just feel like this is one of her passions. So I'm just here to do a little chauffeur, taxi driving, supporting her to wait for her. Yeah, so basically, and then it's all up to her. Yeah.
And a little bit further along the row, you've got somebody who's already in there, haven't you?
I've got 2 in there.
2?
Yes, twins.
Wow. So how old are they?
They're 10.
They've done anything like this before?
They've done a Hinckley pantomime before, but not here.
So how does it feel for you to sit here waiting?
Scary. One might get in, one might not.
Well, that would be tricky, wouldn't
No,
it?
we've had it before.
So what's their background? How did they get involved in
Dance.
stuff like this?
They dance at Shelby Dance Academy in Hinckley.
Yeah.
Do lots of drama, sing as well.
And do they get this from you?
A little bit, yes.
Okay. So you've got a history yourself?
Yes.
What sort of things did you do?
The pantomime.
In Hinckley?
In Hinckley, yes.
Wow.
And danced.
I mean, we talk about, whether you're in the show or not and enjoying the show and so on, but they get so much more out of doing stuff like this, don't they?
Yeah, it's the friendships. They love, to meet new people. They love performing on the stage, and they get the real buzz. They love it.
And it gives them confidence as well, doesn't
Absolutely, yeah. Lots of confidence.
Well, fingers crossed that both of them get through.
Yeah, we're here for experience. We've never done this audition before, so
Good.
it's a tough one, and they're only just 10, so...
Good.
bit
Fingers
of
crossed.
experience. Thank you.
Well, it's always nice in an auditorium full of people to see a face that you recognise, and it's a long time ago, but not for the first time today. I've bumped into somebody who did panto with me here at the De Montfort Hall. Well, I won't say how many years ago, Emma, but it's quite some time ago.
Yeah, probably be more than 20 years ago, but it brings back some really good memories being here.
So what are you doing here today?
So I'm here with my daughter, so she's going to give the audition a go today.
And this is you passing on the family tradition then, is it?
Yeah, Belle's dances quite a bit, and I think just being able to perform on a big stage like this is just memories you never forget, whatever you end up doing in life. So just worth kind of coming down and giving it a go.
So you've been sitting here telling her, look at that stage up there, that's where I was all those years ago.
Yeah, that's where I was, and lots of fun memories on stage and off stage as well. So I did like Peter Pan and Snow White and lots of other ones from when I was about 8 or 9 years old. So yeah, lots of fun memories.
And obviously from your experience, you know just how incredible it is as an experience, and hopefully, if Bells gets in, she'll have that same experience.
Yeah, I think it's just kind of being with an adult cast and like meeting lots of new people from your dance school, other dancing schools, but kind of, the stars they bring in and the professional dancers and working with the choreographers and stuff. And I kind of think you'll never often remember some of the dances that you did back then, but you'll always remember the fun times that you had, like in the rehearsals and kind of after show each day. So yeah, it was good times.
Now, Bells, you've done quite a lot of stuff before, haven't you? I mean, obviously in terms of dance classes and so on, but you've done a fair number of shows, haven't you?
Yes, I enjoy doing like lots of performing arts and shows and stuff.
What sort of things have you done?
Well, I have done a panto before in Loughborough in 2019, which is the last one before COVID. And then I've done things like Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. And then I was in Shrek and I played young Fiona at the Nottingham Theatre Royal, which is very good because very big theatre and lots of people there. And I've been waiting to do it for a long time because I was cast before COVID and then didn't end up doing it till after, so it's really fun.
So what's the thing about panto that you like?
You meet lots of new friends and then you can meet loads of new people, and then if you want to go back the next year, familiar faces. And when I finished panto a couple of years ago, I was very upset because you've met new friends and you've been with them for a couple of months because you rehearse a lot, and then you suddenly just don't see them unless obviously you catch up, because you just make loads of new friends and see them every day, which is really fun.
So what have you been doing for the last 2 years without panto?
Obviously a lot of it was COVID, so we couldn't do many shows, so I've definitely missed it, having to be at home all the time, but I'm excited to get back.
I can see that.
Yeah.
So you're going in about 15 minutes or so. Are you nervous or are you happy just to go in and have fun?
I mean, either way, it's a nice little dance class. And you can just enjoy what you're doing, and it just helps you in later auditions so you can pick up choreography better. Nice dance on the Sundays.
Yeah. Talk about chip off the old block. Yeah, well, behind you is two sisters, I think. No, you must be the mum. And you've got experience of your own as well, haven't you?
Yes, from quite a few years I did professional pantos and things. That was fantastic. So it's now really good to be able to bring my daughter and let her experience that as well.
What was your experience of panto?
I was a Diddy Man with Ken Dodd in Birmingham, which was fantastic. I also did a panto in Sheffield, which was lovely. That was Cinderella. So that was nice. Again, we've been in that one. So yeah, various ones over the years.
And such a great experience, isn't it?
Absolutely. I think I love it, the fact that you interact with the crowd, which you don't get that that normally with shows. Obviously panto, it's all about breaking that fourth wall and interacting, which is absolutely fantastic, and that really creates an excitement and a buzz, I think.
So that's obviously one of the reasons why you'd love your daughter to be able to do this pantomime, because you know what the experience is like.
Absolutely. I mean, she's done lots of shows already but never panto, but I think it's just a very different experience doing panto to normal shows.
So what sort of shows have you done so far?
Before COVID, I got cast in Annie, but then ended up being cancelled. But I've done Little Shop of Horrors, Sound of Music, Chish Chitty Bang Bang, done quite a few.
And what do you like about it?
It's just fun to meet new people and like perform on stage in front of a crowd.
You've been dancing since what age? When did you start?
Probably about 4-ish, 5-ish, I don't really know.
Yeah.
Been dancing for a long time.
What about the auditions? Do you like auditions?
I don't know, it's fun because you get to do like a free workshop in a way. It's fun to meet new people, see like what everyone's doing, but it's also a bit nerve-wracking because you don't know whether you're going to get in or not or whatnot.
And again, you've not been able to do any panto for 2 years, so are you desperate to get back?
Yeah, it'd be really nice to get in because it'd be a really good experience to obviously be with professionals, watch everything, because I'm just used to watching them, not being in them.
And when you look at the size of this place, you know, something like 1,400 people when it's full, that would be incredible, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would be amazing because everyone's like cheering and whatnot. It's massive.
Well, listen, keep our fingers crossed for you. Hope it goes well. Hope to see you at Christmas.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, the numbers we have got through are 56, 109, 71, 70, 84, 67, 75, 85, 124, 91, 114, 122, 121, 110, 59 and 134.
So here we are at the very end of a very, very busy day, and the youngsters are getting their stuff together and about to go home and enjoy the sunshine. It's a beautiful day today, Louise. It's been a really busy day, but the quality's been incredible, hasn't it?
Wow, absolutely. I've been blown away by what I've seen today. I'm exhausted. All that dancing with all of those young people, which a lot of them are taller than me. I really need to stretch myself out a bit.
I think it's too late for that.
I know, I'm past it. I will not grow anymore. But wow, as I said, I've blown away what great talent Leicester has to bring and what amazing teams we're going to put on that stage this Christmas.
Yeah, you and Amy have worked all day with not much of a break at all, but it's all great fun, isn't it?
Oh, yes. That's it, you know, it's a learning experience for everybody, and what we've seen and the children that have come into the room and the talent that they're bringing their own styles, they're coming in and they're showing us exactly what they can do, because there's always a cheeky little moment for a bit of a freestyle, so who knows what they're going to bring. I've just loved today. It's really warmed my heart, and I can't believe that Panto will be here before we know it.
And I was going to say to you, can you just run through who's got through? But actually, I'm not going to do that, because if you want to know who's got through, come and see Cinderella at De Montfort Hall this Christmas and see the fabulous talented kids that we have here in Leicester and Leicestershire. Thank you so much, Louise.
Thank you, Martin. It's been an amazing day. The sun has been shining and so has the talent.
Louise Redmond, who is head of casting and production at Imagine Theatre. And that's about it from another episode, I'm afraid. Don't forget to subscribe to the series to catch up with any episodes you've missed so far, and make sure you don't miss out in the future. Also, make sure you join me next time when I'll be talking to the theatre director, academic and trustee of the UK Pantomime Association, Rob Marsden. I'll see you then.
Thank you for listening to the latest edition of Just Imagine, the podcast series from Imagine Theatre. And you can find out more by going to www.imaginetheatre.co.uk.